So if you put the right mindset, you put in the work. The main thing that people face difficulties being an entrepreneur is finance. But I'm telling you, when you decide to start, you find out things fall in place. I'm a Christian, so I believe God works in miraculous ways. If you decide that you want to sell egg today, and you give yourself 2 days, put it upon yourself that I'm giving myself 2 days to start this business. At the end of the day, you see that you have maybe 1,015, you're lacking just 500 to buy your tray of egg and start your business. So everything starts from the mind. Decide it. A situation does not need to push you to decide, because people go through rough times, and that's when they see that, okay, it's that bad, let me get into business, and they go in for the wrong reasons. They do it for the wrong reasons. At the end of the day, they fail. And these are the same people who will discourage people. Don't try this thing, it will not work. But if you fix up your mind, you fix up your character, be punctual, have a very strict mindset, be disciplined. If you're not disciplined in whatever business you're doing, whatever entrepreneurial venture you choose to go forth with, you're not going to succeed about it.
All right, thank you. Before we're going to start looking how to manage these empowered ladies, there's one last question I'll ask about employment. Mr. Musoka, I'm coming to you. You know, we've talked about the mindset, we've talked about the personal development, critical thinking, emotions, and passion. We've mentioned all of that. But there's this one aspect. We are talking about how ladies can be empowered. We also know that there are some ladies who, because they want to be empowered, we've seen that they go and start doing things that are not godly, things that are not morally right, for them to be empowered. At the end of the day, everybody is empowered. They have money, they can stand on their own.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, one is not really talking so much today on psychological issues and character issues. But let me say that the world has evolved. And I want ladies to understand it, not just them, but even youths and every other person. The world has evolved. The world has so much moved in a way that a lot of things have changed. And if you wish to look at the world today, there are a lot of ethical defects and moral defects, which we usually call moral decadence. There is character problem, which has to do with psychological issues of life. We may not go into all that today because we are talking more about empowering culture. But let me tell you that what has destroyed the world today is character deficiency. If we talk today about institutions not being in place, especially in Africa, is because of corruption that has been the backbone of destruction of the African economy. People taking that which does not belong to them. People misappropriating, mismanaging, misusing. So when we are talking here about empowering the ladies, young lady, we are talking about, first of all, you should have a moral style, you should have character regulations. You should be a lady of integrity. It means that your mindset is positive. Your mindset is pure. Your mindset has reverence to that which is good first. And it applies everywhere. Even when we move to ladies that are married, it applies everywhere. We must have a stand that is godly. But unfortunately today the world is not driven by godliness. The world is driven by money. The world is driven by resources. The world is driven by power. The world is driven by authority. These are the things that are driving the world. So, and these things have a lot of defects. If you want to look into them, they have a lot of defects. But I'm saying that it could have been better. The world would have been a better place if people were working from an ethical, moral stance, having good character. It means that leaders are people that fear God, that reverence God. Leaders are people that know that it is the people first, they are secondary as leaders. And that is one irony in leadership. You are secondary. You are not a leader for yourself, you are a leader for the people. So the people are put in the first place. So I just want to say that unorthodox methods have been the order of the day. Ladies who do all type of terrible things because they wish to see ends to meet, whereas the other way around is the other way that people say that is the unpopular way. It means the way to be godly is the unpopular way. But ladies should do whatsoever they wish to do. After all, and all this has created a problem. And it doesn't only apply to ladies, it applies even to youths. Youths have gone off hand, doing things that are unorthodox, unethical, and the rest, because they wish to make things move. And this is one of the things that all the youths that I've worked with thousands of youths scattered all over the world. One of the things that they know and which they know about me is that I'll never tolerate going off hand. I created a group to train leaders, and one guy made a comment on that group. Hey, this is a good place where we can do a good fraternity. You know, it's one other youth that rebuked the guy, and he was silenced till he did. Because they take advantage, and when they realize that the terrain gives them room, they come in with other things. So what am I trying to say? I'm just trying to say here that we must be on the positive side, acceptable by God in all what we are doing. If you go out of God and you have the billions, you are nothing and you have achieved nothing. I want to make this point publicly and clear. There are a lot of millionaires in Cameroon that are nothing because they have achieved all that in ungodliness and at the detriment of the population. But for you to be counted as a successful person, as an empowered lady who is successful, because you can be empowered but you are not successful. Empowered lady that is successful is a lady that fears God. We cannot shy away from this. It's a lady that fears God, who puts God first. Then the other things now follow. So this is the foundation that we are trying to lay for a better for a better empowered young lady or young ladies that will make a better home tomorrow. We are in crisis. We're in serious crisis because for the past 2 years I've been going through the net and following so many things. I realized that I've come across more than 2,000 homes of young men and women who unfortunately were married. No, fortunately were married, but some cases somebody has 6 children. At the end, he realizes that none is his. Somebody has 8 children. He realizes that 6 are not his, and the rest. So this is what character deficiency. That's why we are building a new generation of youth, a new generation of ladies who should know that there are boundaries of discipline, and you don't cross those boundaries. You stay at the within the boundaries. Don't cross them, because once you cross them, you go off hand. Other things happen. There are many things that we cannot say on board, but let me just round up by saying this: that character comes first, and that is why the first principle of leadership is character. That's the first principle of leadership, is character. When you are training people on leadership, you first of all talk to them about character first. You don't jump and go and be saying things, because Jesus said this. The Bible says Jesus began, first of all, doing and teaching. It's a principle. Jesus began doing and teaching. Now he was teaching what he is doing. He did not teach what he was not doing. So it's a principle, but that's not what we are here for today.
All right, thank you so very much.
Let me hand over to you.
All right, why I brought up that question I asked Mr. Musoke is a practical example around where I live, where you see a woman will always talk very hard, or she's hard on her daughter. Others are making it. Others are big, they are riding cars, and you are just in the house. You know, psychologically you are disturbing her, and you are pushing her out there to go and do things that are not morally right for her to become empowered. That notwithstanding, we are not encouraging you to be lazy. Even many times Madam has said it on air, even if you have your egg, she explained to you how you can expand on that business, so you don't have any reason to say that you are not empowered or you want to be lazy. There's no excuse for that. All right, I want us now to dive now into the main discussion of this topic of today: how to maximize and manage these empowered young ladies. I will begin with you, Madam, because you're from experience. I know you for sure. You are empowered, you're making it, and you are married still. So how do we maximize this set of persons?
All right. So thank you, Alice. I think that first, the maximizing part, we need support from the men. We need support from our families to maximize these potentials, because like he made a statement that you can be empowered but not successful. Your success, because success is not something that just depends on you. It depends on your environment, several other factors. So we need to maximize this. We need to depend on the people around us, the environment, in as much as we self-develop ourselves and seek for the opportunities. So we have that. And in managing, you can, I think Dr. Luke said it all when he said that you can't do anything without integrity. Okay, it's not, dear listeners, we are not turning into a Christian program, but I'm saying that even without lie, you're going to just tarry around. It won't take you so far. So, as an empowered young girl, you have to have integrity. And when we say manage, it's not like we expect someone to manage you. You have to have something that you can live for. You have to have something that you can die for. Sorry. And for example, if you are in a home, there are different settings. I'll just take a home setting. If you are so empowered